Hi, parents. Happy early November to you all. And today I wanted to come on and talk to you about unconditional love and how we transfer our own feelings of unworthiness onto our children without us knowing a lot of the time. And I'm just coming off of my own coaching session with my emotional acceptance coach, and I just did a big unworthiness release myself. So I want to share with you what I've learned. And first of all, if you watch this, give it a like or a love so I know that this is useful to you, and comment below if you have questions. So yeah, I just released a big, huge own chunk of my own worthiness in a very powerful session, and I had no idea this was happening for me, obviously, until it gets triggered, and there were some tears. So my eyes are looking a little sad, but that's okay. I'm grateful for every time I get to release something like that, and my body is very happy that it can shift out of the fight or flight mode whenever, I am getting reminded of, what is stuck in me and what emotions are not released in me. So first of all, what is unconditional love, right? I mean, can you say yes to always loving everything unconditionally, especially your children? And I know I can't. There's plenty of times when I have given plenty of conditions to my children, and hi Liz, thanks for joining. We've all done this, right? It's not like I'm the good one who never does this, anyone who doesn't do this. I mean, we're all in this parenting club together, right? Plenty of times, and also in my relationships, I've given conditions, and that doesn't mean that I necessarily said, I only love you if, but it means that if someone didn't react or act in the way that I thought was proper or appropriate, then I would take my affection away. And that in and by itself can and will create a feeling of unworthiness in the child. Of course, what you're doing, you're trying to, as parents, what we are trying to do most of the time is to have our children comply with us. We're all very stressed. We have our own issues going on. We have limited time. We need to get a lot done. The children aren't always on our timeline. We need to go like, now, listen, I'm talking to you. And then we give conditions. And then, what we want to achieve as a parent is just compliance, but what it turns into is control. And when we take our affection away from children, hi Alyssa, nice to see you here. When we take our affection away from either our children or our partners just because something isn't going in the way that we want it to go, then we're being narcissists. We're trying to control somebody else just because we are not comfortable. And it's very, very hard to stay present in the face of adversity, in the face of a difficult situation with our child too, How often do kids get sent to their rooms and, for timeouts? And yeah, there's a time. And what I find my children have started to do, what my children have started to do more naturally again recently, which is incredible, and other children do it too naturally, is when they are going through a hard time, or some of their friends triggered them, or they're not agreeing with something I said, they run to their room, they lie on their bed or on their floor, and they cry, and they stay there until it's resolved inside of them. And I don't need to send them to a timeout to think about it, because if I try to force them to think about it, I don't need them to think about it. I want them to feel like what went wrong. I don't want them to store that emotion in their body anywhere. I want them to go, and if they need to, and feel it up so that they can come back. And usually when they come back, it's all gone. It's like it was never an issue, and it never needs to be talked about again. But yeah, so when we take our affection away, or we give conditions, or We even reward good behavior with lollipops or toys, or being able to watch something or play a video game. I feel like, personally, to me, that's all very unnatural, emotional, rewarding behavior. And that's, we have to admit, and me too, that oftentimes as parents, we do things because we don't know how to otherwise deal with things, because we're dealing with so much shit inside of ourselves. So, long story short, when I started my emotional acceptance session today with my coach, the thing, what came up first when we asked my heart, like, what do we want to resolve today, is unworthiness. And there's some external circumstances in my life that are triggering this right now. And we went into that, and it didn't go very deep. So when we went deeper and, checked which part of me does feel unworthy. Hi, Sharon. Nice to see you here too. We got so many good people here right now. Awesome. When we asked what part of me does feel, hi, Christine, which part of me does feel unworthy, it was the little girl in me. And again, these last few weeks, I've been working on my daddy issues, and it's been daddy issues left and right. Daddy issues come up through my relationships, and the unworthiness was part of it again and again. And it's not that only dads, cause this, but as parents, when we retract ourselves, when we retract our, when we take back our affection, because we don't know how to better deal with the situation, because we can't stay present with the love while we are dealing with an difficult emotion in ourselves and the want and the need to control our children, then this stuff comes up. So, but what it was specifically with my dad, and I've said this before in another life, he chose not to want to spend time with me when I was little. He had his own things to do, like it wasn't work, it was more social stuff, but he didn't raise me. And then he was lazy. My mom threw him out, probably deservedly. So he's a great guy. He loves me. He was never aware of what he was doing. But by him doing his own thing and choosing not to spend his time with me, here I sit now at 42 years old and have to cry over my unworthiness in my little child inside of me, that my dad chose to not be present in my life. And because I don't want that for any of our children. I don't want our unworthiness to pass on to our children. And, that's why I'm doing this. This is why I want to help myself, and I'm doing it live, working on myself, sharing what I learn, telling you how I'm learning to break the cycle. And the first thing started, with my mom beat me up. And I was always resenting her all my life for this, but she was feeling so unworthy in her job. She came home and transferred that unworthiness onto me by beating me up, because she was completely overwhelmed as a single mom. And I've dealt with that physical stuff and, forgiving her, forgiving me, all that kind of business. But, that's what we do when we are, as parents, not doing our own healing work, when we are not going in and after every time we get triggered, really, really ask the question, what is showing up, and why do I get triggered in this way continuously and all the time? And if we're unaware of this, what will happen is automatically that, by us taking our affection and love temporarily away from our children, even if we in our hearts love them unconditionally, but by that we're training a behavior in them that shows them that a certain behavior makes them unworthy of love. And to me, that's not right, because to me, my children should always be worthy of love. I don't want to train them to a behavior that later in life makes them pick a partner that feeds into that behavior too, of showing them you're only worthy if you behave in that way. And what if behaving in that way is not who they truly are, because that's what we have trained onto them. That's not how they want to live. We're not allowing them to flower into the flower that they want to become. We're trying to put our imprint of how we've been raised, what we find is right, what we think they should behave onto them, and then they have to run around with these feelings of unworthiness. So there's so many parts to this, obviously, and I just went deep with myself in that session, and so grateful I got to release that. And yet all I want, and especially I'm going to keep saying this too the next few weeks, the holidays are coming up. Life is difficult this time of year. We have less daylight to us, to our, cells. Daylight is a very important part. We're all usually happier in the summer. Come Halloween, that's why they invented Halloween, to chase those dark spirits away. But as the New Agey people say, the veil is thin right now, and so much is coming up. And then the holidays on top of it, family stuff on top of it. I'm going to keep saying it, people. When you get triggered, try not to react, and then instead go in and ask yourself what is really happening. Try not to give the external circumstances the blame for you not feeling well. Try not to blame your crazy in-laws or the rest of your crazy family for making you feel a certain way. Just be honest with yourself and know that it's all just stuff that you've been piling up inside of you all your life, and that wants to come to the surface. And thank you to the holidays. They do that every time. Yeah, holiday. Hi, Annalena, you're here too. Yeah, holidays, big trigger time. So we can be grateful for the holidays to do this for us. But if we don't know what to do with it, then we're actually feeling pretty helpless, and it can be the biggest shit show of the year. So parents, go inquire within when you get triggered. There was a time when I was so resistant to it, and I felt like everyone had to change, and especially my boyfriend, because he was just not doing things how I thought he should be doing them. And every time I had such resistance to thinking that I was the problem. And it's not that I'm the problem. I carry a problem. But that's okay, because I can release that. I can release that with emotional acceptance. I can release that by being honest and looking at it and not being attached to, and not making myself feel like that is me. Now I'm less attached to all of this, and I'm like, okay, great. This is not me. This is a thing that's coming up because it wants to be released, and then I can, and I'm grateful. And I'm so grateful when I get to see my dad soon, because I've been able to release so much stuff, and I'm curious to feel how I feel around him now. And I've been feeling pretty good around him the last couple years anyway, but now that I'm releasing so much dad stuff that I didn't even know was dad stuff, I'm even more curious how I'll feel around him. So yeah, just my reminder to everyone, including myself, to not see a trigger as a reason for anyone needs to change around you, and seeing a trigger as an opportunity. And I know that is, the body needs some retraining in this way, and I still get, my nervous system still gets upset a little bit when I get triggered, because I'm still getting used to that being an opportunity instead of a threat. But I'm getting there more and more, and I've been doing emotional acceptance with myself and my coaches now for a few months, and it's been amazing. And yeah, it just takes a little time, what we've learned for so long, to unlearn it again, or to relearn it, or to shift it, to release it. And yeah, if you have any questions about getting an emotional acceptance gift session, let me know, comment below, or message me. I'm happy to help you shift some stuff. Like my coaches help me shift stuff. I give away about 10 gift sessions a month, and I still have a few open for November since it's early in the month. So let me know if you feel called. And otherwise, I just invite you to stay present with the love and not withdraw it from our children, because they deserve our full attention, our love, our time, and strong, strict, kind, loving boundaries without punishment. I don't know. That's my opinion. That's how I see it. And I love my connection with my children right now. All right, guys. Happy, what do we have? Tuesday? Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. I'm glad so many of you joined. Awesome. Take care, guys. Bye.